Weather Sunday and Monday look phenomenal, but beginning tonight, we'll start to see some storms. Now, I don't think we're going to see much here tonight, but a high risk of severe weather, I should say significant, with a level 4 out of 5 that goes from just to our north all the way up into central Iowa. Could see more of a severe weather outbreak there. Now, for our North Shore parishes, we are under a level 2 threat. That is from some storms that are already starting to fire up across north and central Louisiana. Now, we do have some activity a little bit farther south, but as these continue toward the east, could see some of those clip parts of our North Shore parishes, which is why we have the tornado watch in effect for them. But I think a lot of that is going to stay a little bit more north of the state line. We begin the day dry tomorrow with mostly cloudy skies and windy. Now, an isolated shower or two possible before noon, but most of the storms start rolling in during the afternoon and evening. We'll take a more detailed look at the timing coming up in just a bit. But as mentioned, this is not something you see very often. Once every few years, maybe a high level 5 risk of severe storms. And that includes Hattiesburg up to Jackson and then deeper into central, north and western Alabama. For us, nothing has changed, but still a significant level 4 threat of severe storms. Here is the setup. Big upper level low is churning across the plains. This is what is triggering the severe weather to our north and maybe even a little bit farther south into Alabama, or excuse me, into Mississippi. Now, on the tail end of this is where we're going to watch a deepening trough. It's going to be that deepening trough, and I know kind of difficult to see here, but this is the upper disturbance which triggers our severe weather. What we're looking at is the upper pattern as well as kind of the severe ingredients, the energy needed for severe weather, and it is right across the Gulf Coast and the deep south, basically the areas highlighted under that level 4 to 5. Now, with that system approaching, we will start to see the thunderstorms not really develop until probably midday or mid-morning, mid-afternoon, or midday to around noon tomorrow. So to track a line of storms is not really going to be the case. And one of the other reasons why we're likely to see that severe threat even farther south is that upper trough with the associated cold front is going to develop a surface low. So this is really the trigger much deeper into the south. That'll be the focus for a lot of our severe weather. We were looking for kind of that trigger as to why the threat was so far south. That's it, the deep upper trough and the surface low forming. So as far as the timing goes, in the early morning hours, there is the possibility of an isolated shower or two. Wouldn't be anything widespread. However, with those isolated thunderstorms, we're also looking at the risk of tornadoes. The environment would be conducive for those rogue thunderstorms to spin and possibly develop a tornado. They become more numerous as we get more of a solid line, which begins maybe before the noon, but certainly during the afternoon and evening. And then as we go later into the afternoon to then kind of late evening to night, the risk is then gone. So this is not an all-day event. Flooding, not really much of a concern, as would be the obviously severe thunderstorm threat. So kind of secondary would be any heavy rainfall, and that doesn't look to be too much of an issue. So again, kind of rough idea of the timing. Morning will be dry, and then a few isolated showers possible, but more numerous during the early afternoon hours, and then quite a bit more during the mid-afternoon, 2 to 4, 5 o'clock. That's where we're expecting the roughest of the weather. By about 6, 7 o'clock, those storms are clearing out. Also to note, not associated with the storms themselves, strong winds. Wind advisory will be in effect from 10 a.m. to 7 with winds sustained 20 to 25 miles an hour and gusting up to around 40. That is even before the storms arrive. Then within the storms themselves, could easily see winds gusting up to 60 plus miles an hour. So some very strong winds, again, kind of unassociated with the storms. And it's been windy all day today, so even stronger winds on the way for tomorrow. As we look at our 7-day forecast, as temperatures will be actually on the rise again during the day tomorrow. Let me jump over here because my remote is not working for some reason. Just want to show you the 7-day forecast again. We got the storms on Saturday. Then the good news is by Sunday, weather is going to be gorgeous with temperatures in the only lower 70s. That continues on into Monday, St. Patrick's Day, briefly warming up before another front cools us down by Thursday and Friday.